Fatima is giving it a go with Paul. Belinda is shooting her friendship shots. And Nathan and Tony are still raggedy as ever. What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another Zatima video. We are back for the second part of season 2, and this is going to be a breakdown for episode number 11. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss out on any of my Zatima content and conversations. And I'm gonna need y'all to bear with me. Did the episode give? I don't know. It wasn't the worst, but it left a lot to be desired. And if you would love to hear my initial reactions, then you can check out Our Sister's Keeper, which is our live after show hosted by myself and the dope Allie Nick official, which happens right here on my channel on Thursday nights after the episode. Even though Zatima is on streaming, we go live on Thursday nights to talk about the episodes that recently premiered. So you typically will get those before you get the breakdowns. And I have a lot of juicy tidbits there. This breakdown is much more concise. And it's taken me a while to get to it. So I'm very sorry that I'm posting it late. However, this is the best that I can do. Because while the episode wasn't terrible, it did leave a lot to be desired for me. Before we jump into this video, I have to let you know that this video was created during the 2023 WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes. Without the labor of the writers and actors currently on strike, the series being covered here wouldn't exist. Through the duration of these strikes, my company and I stand in solidarity with both unions and are refusing paid opportunities presented by struck companies such as the 8 major Hollywood studios. Content created on Erica Vane platforms are independent of any struck company and not created in promotion of said company. Articles, videos, and audio posts are created in critique of the media in support of the artists who created it. It is important that you, the audience, know that these strikes are a result of corporate greed. The writers and actors have been victimized by major studios for quite some time, and the time is now to demand fair pay and working conditions, standardized practices across streaming business models, and other terms that will ensure the pipeline for new aspiring creatives remains open and viable for years to come. At this time, neither union is calling for a boycott of any television or film content. If you would like to support either or both unions, consider donating to strike funds, walking local picket lines, and using your social media platform to amplify messages delivered daily by union members and leaders. Links to official websites and more information can be found in the description box down below. Videos explaining both strikes and continual strike news can be found on Erica Vane TV. Now let's get into it. Starting off with where we pick up with this electric entry or beginning of the episode with the fight with Zach and Fatima. So basically the time between episodes 10 and episode 11 is a very short amount of time, so much so where Fatima walks out and then she comes back at the top of episode 11 with Angela to supposedly get her stuff, and then a whole argument ensues because Zach has been sitting in the house drinking, watching the door while she's not there. And while I think that this argument is something that needed to happen, it is a culmination of things because Fatima has been taking so much when it comes to this relationship, and to have him blatantly sleep with his crackheaded ex. This is not me trying to super shade Connie, but I'm just going off of what was given, right? Up until this point, that's what we were told. They think that Connie back on the rock. She giving Thirst McGurst and Ho from round the way, and Zach took her up to her place in the projects. It's a no, and that seems to be the straw that breaks the camel back. However, throughout this argument, I feel like Fatima loses focus on the major issue, and the major issue is you supposedly slept with Connie and you know that cheating is a deal breaker. And for me, not only is this Fatima lost focus, but I also feel like Tyler Perry did. It was very weird and a little bit convoluted in the dialogue, in the writing, so in the actual script. Like, he actually has Zach say at one point, what's your deal breakers? And to me, when somebody says that, it's because they know that, so they're not about to do something that they know that they're not supposed to do because it's a deal breaker for you. So to have Zach tell Fatima, what's your deal breakers, and he knows it, to prove that he knows it, but then to have him then moments later spit out, yeah, he slept with her so good, and try to throw that up in Fatima's face. It felt very weird and disjointed. And even with him trying to like hurt her back, you know, that's like the motive behind him doing it and lying in this way, it doesn't truly line up. Also for me, it doesn't line up of Zach's anger. Like, I get it, you feel lied to because of the whole therapist thing, but all of the stuff that you have put Fatima through, and you are hanging on tooth and nail to her sneaking a therapist in y'all's damn dinner, sir. You have multiple babies by different women. You were standing over a naked ass Deja who's been throwing her pussy at you left and right, and then sitting on a sofa with her talking about you're trying your best not to fish out of her, leaving that place, and then Fatima is watching you walk out of her place with a super hard on. You, Zach, attacking it with your homeboys, co-signing your goofy ass homeboy cheating on his wife. Like, you have all of this questionable ass, immoral adjacent ass behaviors, thoughts, and conversations swirling around you, and you trying to like pin Fatima to the cross behind a damn therapist. Zachary beefing for real. So no, like, I get you don't want to be lied to, but to me the punishment doesn't fit the crime, and you wasn't going to consider a therapist any other way. So while it was very much so deceptive, it was with the best intentions at heart. And a lot of the things that have come back to bite Fatima in the ass when it comes to y'all's relationship, you weren't really thinking and being intentional about her. She has always been intentional about you. So again, more grace needs to be given to Miss Mamas, because she's putting up with a hell of a lot and getting nothing in return aside from some bomb ass sex in a goofy ass duplex that you seem to think is better than her old apartment because you tried to shit on it 2 episodes ago, thinking that you pull her ass about the hood. Meanwhile, just a few weeks prior, you ain't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, and you was in that big because you was going to be back to the shelters. But you talking about her condo. Like, I need Zach to be for real, but then also in a moment where there's things coming to a head to this degree, I need Fatima to be laser focused and to address the issues. It disappointed me so much for her dialogue, and this is a Tyler Perry thing, I guess. It disappointed me in her dialogue being, you gonna treat me like this over your mama. I'm like, ma'am, that is a deflection, because the mama is not the issue. Yes, the mama told you about Connie and him potentially sleeping with Connie, but the mama right now isn't the issue. The issue is he blatantly slept with somebody in retaliation for you. So why in the hell are you not saying you literally slept with that hoe, and you know I don't play that? But no, you hollering and screaming that he gonna treat you like this over his mama? Ma'am. Not that I think that he should be treating you anyway over his mama, but he's known his damn mama for 35 to 40 years. He's known you for 7 weeks. Why are we making that the point of our argument? We are not focused. And then it's the like ill place, you don't know how to let me love you. That is true, but the way it came out just felt so inorganic. It just felt so weird. And then that saddled with the performance of this actual fight, I felt like this is not the strongest we have seen in reference to chemistry between Crystal and Devale. Devale was very, very close to where he needed to be. Very different points in it. He was like dropped in well, but then he would drop out of it. Crystal's performance as Fatima within this particular argument scene, to me, left a little bit to be desired, and I don't know if that's because of the words not lining up with the emotion that needed to be given, if her mind was in a different place versus what the script was actually saying. So it was a lot for me. It was a lot for me to process. I got what we were trying to, or what Tyler was trying to do. I just don't think it was executed well. And then also, it leaves a lot to be desired, because to me, Fatima's main valid issues within this relationship become trivialized and saddled on the back of his mommy issues, when it's more than that. His mommy issues provide the root, the foundation for a lot of the things that are playing out. However, we need to attack and address the instances of disrespect, attack and address the instances of lack of loyalty and faithfulness, whether it's physically, emotionally, or mentally. And to just lump it all up to like, you gonna do me like this over your mama, is to trivialize all of that and not give Zach anything tangible that he can hold himself truly accountable for. I hope that makes sense, but like that's the best way I can articulate it. And it took me a couple days. It's taking me a couple days to like put it into those words. Now, Zach and Fatima spend the rest of the episode running, telling across Atlanta that they broke up to anybody who goddamn listen. Yes, it is a dramatization, but yes, they do keep telling people it's over. It's over. It's really over. It's really over this time. And I'm gonna start with Fatima. Erica, stop being so unserious. Okay. She starts out at her parents' house, right? It's the next day, and she's going over to her parents' house to tell them not to go over to Zach's house. Why? Yes, your mama did pull a pop-up. You don't know nothing about your daddy, who was planning to do a pop-up a little bit later, but your mama did a pop-up, and regardless of if she decides to do something in the future, like, I just felt like this was so unnecessary. And when I started to think about why I felt like this was unnecessary, it led me to what I would have loved to see in reference to the story. So y'all indulge me for a little second, right? Let's pause on the critique of it all, the review of it all, and let's go into the mind of Erica of what I would have had Fatima do in the 12 to 24 hours post this volcanic ass breakup, right? We are not going to our parents' house to warn them or to stop them from going to see Zach, because if my mama decides to show up and cuss Zach out and then finds out that we're broken up, then she gonna know, stand 10 toes down, that I did everything that I possibly could do, and maybe he deserves that damn cuss out. So we not stopping that, right? We are, in fact, maybe at Angela's house, because also we're not going over there to warn our parents, and we're not going over there to get clothes from 20 years ago, because Miss Mamas, you didn't come from your parents' house to Zach's house. You were at your own house. So the fact that you're going over here talking about something, you want to get some goddamn clothes, you ain't worn these clothes that they got over here in about 10, 15 years. So what are we talking about, Fatima? Anyway, back to my fantasy. We're still at Angela's house. I struggled with Fatima going on a date the next day, the immediate day after, but then us also having to believe that she's so hurt. And this is where you kind of have to look at who is actually writing the story, right? This is definitely from a male perspective, in my opinion, because the Fatima that we were given, and be mindful that I'm very clear that I am currently battling with the Fatima that I feel like we were given in seasons 1 and season 2, season 3, versus the Fatima that we have now. And I'm partially starting to grieve the loss of what I thought she was supposed to be versus what Tyler's actually meaning her to be. But in going back to who she was initially presented as, she did not give me the girl who would just randomly start dating immediately after going through all that she had gone through with Zach, fighting as hard as she did, and then finally deciding to walk away. And this is the thing that she does immediately after. But again, this speaks to Tyler Perry writing it. It speaks to Tyler not doing a great job with time, which we need to. And I'm hoping that season 7 of Sisters helps to set this universe right a little bit, and they could keep track of time a little bit better. Because while I think that her going on a date could happen, it would not happen in this way, and it would not happen this quick. Now, if it was to happen, I could see her calling out of work or going to work, but spending the day similar to how they actually gave Zach the day. So he goes into the office and he's thinking about, is he wrong? Why does he sabotage things? Like, he's asking these questions of Bryce when they get into it, and I'm going to talk about that more. But we don't actually get to see that with Fatima. We just get to see her rushing back to this whole, I'm going to do me, I'm going to get back to me, but we don't get to see the processing of that. And I think that that's a area of opportunity that we really miss out on with Fatima across all of the circumstances that have happened with Zach, all of the run-ins that have happened with Zach. I don't think we give her enough time for us to actually see certain things percolating for her. And with her not going to her parents' house and being at Angela's or being at the office, and us having a scene of her actually thinking about what she would have done differently, what she wanted to do differently, what she's completely tired of, and not being able to vocalize all of that to Zach the night before, but being able to vocalize it to herself, whether internally or actually audibly, would have been really dope. I think that it wasn't really realistic for her to call for her to call Paul. Like, it would have been more realistic for Paul to just randomly call her and to be checking up on her. And then it kind of parlayed into them getting together and her kind of going with it. I would have loved for Fatima to just kind of like happen upon a potential date with Paul versus her being the aggressor in that and like setting all that up, all because she wants to get back at Zach that bad. It's just like, I don't know if I believe it. I don't know if it feels true. for the most part, like, this episode gives no time for her grief or her negative emotions as it pertains to the relationship. And yes, there are women who completely try to ignore all of their feelings and brush it up under the rug and just move on and power through, but there's still those moments and those peaks as to what the hell is actually going on internally, and we don't really get to see none of that. To me, Fatima throughout this episode reads surface level in reference to her processing of this big ass breakup, up until we get to them on the date with Paul, and then she gets on stage and sings Alicia Keys all Falling. Like, girl. And then I'm just like, you on this damn date with Paul and you singing Alicia Keys to Zach, and it's just like, girl, this is so damn messy, mama. All of this is messy. So yeah, that I think that best articulates like where I struggle with specifically on the Fatima character side of it. And again, a lot of this falls into the lap of Tyler and some of the choices that he made for the character versus the character in and of itself. From what we were given, it is what it is. I have been wanting her to explore something with Paul. I don't necessarily love how fast it's moving, because I don't feel like that feels genuine to Fatima as the character or for Paul. And I'm gonna talk about more of that once we get into episode 12 breakdown, because Lord, we go from moving a little bit quick to a whole brisk ass run, and it's ridiculous. In addition, Tyler also tries to slide in Belinda shooting her damn shot because she happens to be the host of this open mic night, and she makes a point. And I want to note this because some people commented on our Sisters Keeper episode that we did after this episode, and they were like, oh, we're so proud of Belinda for standing up and owning her stuff. No, Belinda is a raging narcissist and a selfish ass person, and in a broke clock is wrong twice a day. And I said that to say, as a narcissist, as a selfish ass person, as a jealous, envious ass who she is in this relationship with Fatima, she could get on stage and admit to doing her damn wrong, but then still conspire with Nathan behind Fatima's back and coordinate to find their relationship downfall. Then you really didn't mean the apology. You do still want to be Fatima's friend, but you want it at the cost of her losing her damn relationship that she cares so much about. And you really don't give a fuck about hurting her feelings. You really care about what you actually want, and you don't even know why you don't want her to be with Zach. You know that you're never going to be with Zach. You weren't even with Zach beforehand, but now you're trying to sabotage this whole thing all because you just want to. The same thing with Nathan, and it's narcissistic, it's trifling, it's selfish, it's disgusting. So no, she might have got her ass up on that stage and said, oh, I did her wrong and hopefully she'll forgive me one of these days. But then if you're actively still conspiring against her and against the love that she has and what she wants for her life, then ho, you still an op. And no, we ain't never gonna be friends, and you lucky I don't bust you in your damn lip. I'm sorry, I just felt that in my spirit. I was reading some of the comments and I'm like, y'all, some of y'all, I worry and I pray for so many of my subscribers, because if y'all are letting people off the hook like this in y'all real life, if people are just being able to say boppity boppity boop and you taking them back, meanwhile they have clear and present dangerous intentions for you, then you are in more trouble than, child, you just need all the prayers. Going over to Zach. Now, I do feel like they handle Zach in a very interesting way, and I can only speak based off of what I think and feel, because I'm not a black man, so I don't know how true this is to how y'all be, but I did enjoy them giving Zach the moment at his damn job, not doing his damn job, because he decides to go into the office for what? To continue to sulk. But I love him having the space and time to continue to sulk, and I love us being able to see him take moments to really think about certain things and question. Even if he's standing 10 toes down in his dumbass decisions, he's taking time to question, whether alone or specifically with Bryce. He's also shooting on this deal with Bryce, which Bryce is a little bit too hyped for this damn deal. It don't actually seem like it line up, so I'm not really against Zach shooting down this ideal. I'm against Zach shooting down any idea that Bryce has and wanting to terminate this business, but then not actually terminating this business and still being around each other, because that's giving toxic. But that's a conversation for a whole nother day. The Goofy and Goofier come in as well, and they didn't watch Fatima profile. They done seen that she done put single up. They want to get him back to Zach attack. They're here to listen, and I'm just like, every time I see Nathan and Tony, I get the ick. It disgusts me. And honestly, I'm going to hold Zach accountable for these goofy ass people that he got in his life, because there is no way in hell you are a well-to-do, sensible black man, or think you are a good man with the air quotes. Meanwhile, you are actively engaging with a so-called best friend homeboy that is actively cheating on his wife, and you have nothing to say about it. The fact that Zach does not make it uncomfortable for Nathan to parade his bullshit and his misogyny and his disrespect for his fucking wife in front of him or in his proximity. Meanwhile, Zach wants to be regarded as a good man and wants to be a provider and wants to be this and wants to be that. No. Because you also are who you associate with. And to the level that you associate with Nathan, some of this is rubbing off. And this is why you have this conundrum of you keep fucking up and things keep happening to you, because you will not remove yourself from environments, circumstances, and people that enable you to continue to be a fuck up. Enough is enough. It's one thing to stay 10 toes down with the people that you grew up with, but when they don't grow, and you're trying to go some other place, not everybody can go where the hell you're going. And that is what Nathan and Tony are giving. Now, mind you, Tony is a lot more passive, but him also allowing Nathan to be comfortable with his triflingness. It's beyond me. I don't understand it. I really just don't. It gives that y'all should not actually be friends with this man anymore. If this is what this man is choosing to do with his life, it don't even align with y'all, with y'all are saying that y'all want to do with y'all lives. So why the hell are y'all connected? What exactly is the through line? What exactly are the common interests or the commonalities? Every single scene that I see with these niggas, it pisses me off to no end, because it's like, Zach, you want to prove that you changed. You want to prove that you're so great. You want to prove that you're healing. Meanwhile, you are holding on so tight to the shit that helps you be trash. Let it go. And maybe that's what we're about to see play out throughout the rest of the season. Now, Zach gets a visit from Fatima daddy, who rubs me the wrong way, y'all. Him flirting with Deja and then wanting Deja's phone number by the time he done talking to Zach just completely winds up invalidating all that he said for me, even though he made a bunch of points. And I said this on Our Sister's Keeper. I feel like he made a bunch of dope points. He told Zach something that he needed to hear, but I wish that would have come from somebody that was closer to Zach, because he don't know this man from a can of paint, and this man just shitted on him the day before. So like, I think Zach is going to take the advice and listen, because it's Fatima's daddy and because he felt like it was real rap raw. But then also, like, they should have had some kind of interactions prior to this so that Zach would have already had some type of respect for me to believe it. But then also, let's not make Fatima's daddy a dirty ass man. A dirty ass man is willing to throw away his marriage just to cheat with Deja's goofy ass. Because why do we need that? I don't think we needed that. Anyway, we wound up at the karaoke spot for Zach as well, because this is where the homeboys want to go, because Nathan is kicking in with Belinda, and we're gonna find that out, like, be able to put two and two together. But that's what Nathan was talking about in reference to the shorty that he was messing with, and she was hosting at this and this. Shorty is Belinda. They wind up there. Fatima sees him and is able to sing this to him, and all he can do is stand there and sulk and look all hurt because Fatima is there with Paul. And you know what? As you should. All right, y'all, let's talk about episode 12 in this next video. Drop your comments, your theories, and your predictions in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you have to say and what you think about the episode. Not about what I think. I'm just saying. It's your good sis you love to talk TV with. Give this video a like because you made it all the way to the end, and I know that you liked it. And also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Now let's go check out episode 12 breakdown.